we'll wait for people. We'll wait for people to start piling in the chat, and then we'll get into this freaking stream. Because this is gonna be a freaking stream today, y'all. We are going to be taking a walk, but we're gonna be a little. We are gonna go to fuck off today. We are gonna go to fuck off today. So when everybody piles in the stream, we are just gonna go to fuck off. Because you guys need to hear this shit. So let's just wait. Let's just wait. Anyways, right now, like I said, we're gonna take a walk. What's up, Slipkill? What's up, Slipkill? Slipkill, this is about to become a freaking. You're just gonna hear Tintle Death go off. I saw that teaser you posted, Slip. I saw that teaser you posted. I'm a little annoyed right now, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a little annoyed. I'm just gonna say this, Slipkill. every day we come closer to every day we come a lot closer to losing our YouTube. We come a lot closer to getting canceled on the internet. We're, like I was saying yesterday, so I don't know if you were here in live yesterday, but yesterday I said we probably have 2 years left on YouTube and on TikTok before we get canceled. It's bound to happen, especially with the content I post. What's up, Stinky Hamburger? So this is gonna be a long talk. Yeah, playing Minecraft. Oh, you're not playing Minecraft. Okay. Well, first off, I just want to say this. Anyone who is a kid, if you're under the age of 18, you're not supposed to be here in this stream. I literally set this stream as not made for kids. So if you're on this stream and you're under the age of 18, then all I'm gonna say is you're breaking YouTube's rules. Take care, because this is gonna become crazy. So let's start, and let's say something very important, man. Where do I even fucking begin? What do you think about my new song? I think you got some potential, Slip. think you got some potential, Slip. So this is the thing. I just want to say one thing. What the fuck is up with some of these TX2 fans? And look, man, I'm a TX2 fan myself. A lot of you guys know I'm a fucking TX2 fan. I will never have anything ever. I will never have anything ever bad to say about Evan. I will never have anything bad to say. But god damn, I swear to God, some of these fans be the most toxic motherfuckers ever, y'all. For real. For real. But yeah, like I said, Slipkill, I think you got some potential. You just gotta learn to mix it right. And let me explain. See, I don't know if you guys remember Tatiana. Does anyone here remember Tatiana? Anyone remember Tatiana? Basically, Tatiana, you know, she's a TX2 fan. She pops up here in the streams every now and then. I remember Tatiana. You know, Tatiana's just been for like fucking months. Tatiana's been having issues with TX2 fans online because other TX2 fans are bullying Tatiana. You know how crazy that is to be a TX2 fan and get bullied by another TX2 fan? And Tatiana was out here, I think it was Tatiana and a few other people. They were exposing how there was some grooming going on, how there was some TX2 fans grooming other TX2 fans. And Tatiana was, you know, over here exposing that crap, and they bullied the shit out of her for it, right? They bullied the shit out of Tatiana because Tatiana was exposing the fact that some TX2 fans were grooming other TX2 fans, right? And I think about that. I think about how Tatiana, a TX2 fan, was just getting bullied to fucking hell by other TX2 fans. I think about that a lot, right? And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck's up with this fan base? This fan base is supposed to be about love, about acceptance. Here we are bullying each other as fans. And the reason why I bring this up, where we're about to go with this, stay tuned, y'all. I'm about to get really fucking crazy here. Bro, So let me ask some of you guys a serious question. So, let's say, I don't know, let's say you got a 3-year-old cousin or a 4-year-old cousin, and that 4-year-old cousin is watching bad videos, bad YouTube videos on their tablet, right? Like, I don't know, maybe they're an iPad kid. Yeah, they're watching bad videos on YouTube on their tablet. Let me ask you, whose fault is that? Is that the YouTube creator's fault? Or is that the fault of the parents for not parenting their children? Because you're going to see how this ties into back to TX2. You guys are going to see how this ties back in. But serious question. If a little kid is watching videos online that they're not supposed to be watching, whose fault is it? Is it the YouTuber's fault that's making those videos? Or is it the fault of the parent that, yeah, it's the parent, right? Slipkill says the parents, but then he corrected it, the parents, right? So see, this is the issue that we have here. So I think a lot of you guys have heard a lot of people say, oh, TX2 fetishizes goth girls. And I have defended Evan so many times. I've called out bullshit on anyone that said he's fetishized goth girls. Anyone who's smart knows that Evan's not fetishizing goth girls. Everyone knows. Oh, Phoenix, what's up, Phoenix? Welcome, Phoenix. Yes, exactly, Phoenix. Tell him, Phoenix. Tell him. But you'll see where I'm getting here. So everybody knows the allegations made against Evan from TX2 about, about him fetishizing goth girls. If you're smart, those are just jokes. Evan's not actually fetishizing goth girls. I've defended Evan so many damn times. I have taken flack for this guy. Even though Evan doesn't personally know me, I appreciate him reposting our videos and resharing our videos and commenting on our videos, right? All of us know it's just jokes. It's not being for real. So, y'all, yesterday night, I posted a video because I'm tired. I'm fucking tired of seeing the allegations, the same damn allegations going around about Evan fetishizing goth girls. Now, let me tell you guys this. There is a place, there is a bar over here that uses goth girls, that fetishizes goth girls as sexual marketing and allegedly drugs goth girls and allegedly rapes them. Allegedly. There's a ton of allegations against this one bar because they've been doing it for a while. Right? Well, reason why I bring this up is simply this. Everyone wants to talk about TX2 fetishizing goth girls, right? And in this video, this TikTok I made last night, I made a TikTok, talking about those allegations, saying, look, man, these allegations are silly. You guys want to know a place, someone that's actually fetishizing goth girls that nobody is talking about. It's this bar. It's this bar I'm talking about. This bar, like I said, they use goth girls. They fetishize goth girls as part of their sexual marketing to get people in their doors. And they allegedly, like I said, there's a ton of allegations from different women over the last year that says that, they've been drugged and, raped at this freaking bar. And so, that's actual fetishization of goth girls. That's actual fetishization of goth girls. So I made that TikTok last night to tell people, hey, man, all of you guys claiming that Evan's fetishizing goth girls, no. This is an actual place that is fetishizing goth girls, and I think we need to stand up against this bar that's doing that shit, right? Unfortunately, we're taking a walk here. Unfortunately, a lot of people got pissed off that I made that TikTok, and I got a ton of messages. I got several messages from TX2 fans, and some of those fans were like, 10, you're a sick person, which, yeah, I'm a sick person, whatever. That you want to know why they were calling me a sick person? They said the fact that I even mentioned that bar doing that stuff makes me sick, makes me a horrible person. Which, how does that make me a horrible person? Because This is what I don't understand. Everyone's trying to call out TX2, right? For quote unquote fetishizing goth girls, and we all know he's not. So then I'm over here. I'm like, okay, this is an actual place doing this. I think we all need to make everyone aware so we can potentially save some people from not being, drugged up and raped, right? And they called me a sicko. They called me a sicko for even talking about that. And the reason why they called me a sicko, from the messages I got, people were saying I'm a sicko because, kids saw that TikTok 10. Kids saw that TikTok, and kids don't need to know that, blah, 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 blah. There's a bar out there doing that stuff. But I feel like it's fucking hypocrisy. It's fucking hypocrisy at its fucking best and stuff, because, like, this is what I don't understand. We're the same people that are defending Evan from all of these, because they're, believe it or not, Evan has even had, I'm not even going to go into the details on this. There's allegations that he might have done something sexual to someone. That's a real thing I've heard. I don't believe it though. It's like the same fans that are defending him from that, when someone actually tells people actual stuff that's going on, suddenly it's like, whoa. But yeah, I had some fucking butthurt fucking fans in my fucking DMs saying, Tin, you can't talk about that. But why is it okay? Why is it okay that we can talk about TX2 fetishizing goth woman, but I can't talk about an actual place that is doing that shit? Why is it okay if we can talk about TX2 doing that, but I can't talk about that shit? Like, someone make sense of this. And there was one person in my DMs, because I called them out on that. I was like, why is it okay, that we can talk about all of this shit TX2 does, but if I try to talk about actual fucking shit that's going on, not the stupid allegations made against TX2, but the actual fucking shit that's going on, suddenly I'm a bad person. And someone legitimately told me in my DMs that the reason why it's okay that, Evan can do these things, or Evan can talk about these things, is because he's famous. And that's fucking stupid, because you're telling me that we can only talk about serious things because someone's famous? Like, bro, you're telling me unless I'm famous, I can't talk about, serious issues that are going on, right? What's up, Clownsy? What's up, Clownsy? What's up, Ace? And so, yeah, we're going to continue this conversation. And this is nothing against Evan. I love Evan. But damn, some of these fucking fans are just fucking boggling my mind. So, another example. So, the people that were in my DMs that were butthurt that I called out an actual fucking bar that's fetishizing goth woman, those people, they were like, 10 kids watch. Kids probably saw your video on TikTok, and kids don't need to be exposed to that, and blah, 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 right? And I told them, I was like, okay, whose fault is it that kids are watching this content, right? And they told me it's my fault. I'm like, no, I'm not telling kids, I'm not forcing, let me change my words there. I'm not forcing kids to watch my content, right? I'm not forcing kids at all to watch my content. I've been very open on this channel, and that we are just gonna do whatever the fuck we want at this point, right? And I told this person, I'm like, it's the parents' responsibility to monitor what their kids watch online, right? Oh, bless your soul, Ace. Bless your soul, Ace. Bless your soul. But yeah, we're just talking about the angry fans, because we had a lot of TX2 fans that were mad about that video, Ace. Which you would have thought TX2 fans would have been happy, because I'm defending Evan, and I'm showing them an actual fucking bar that's fetishizing goth woman to defend Evan from the fucking allegations. Apparently TX2 fans are upset. And so this person, two different people were telling me, no, Tin, it's your responsibility. You're responsible for what these kids online are watching. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not responsible for what they consume, right? And I told him this, because this is a true story. Now, I love my little nephew. My little nephew is an iPad kid. He loves his iPad. He likes playing video games on his iPad. He also likes watching YouTube. And I've caught my little nephew watching bad YouTube videos before, and I've got on to him for it. Now, let me ask you this question. Those bad YouTube videos my little cousin watched, not little cousin, my little nephew watched, was it the YouTube creator's responsibility that he watched that video? Or was it my nephew's mom? Whose responsibility is it? Is it the YouTube creator that made those videos? Is it their responsibility for my nephew watching those videos? Or is it his mom? The obvious answer is his mom, right? Because the fucking creator didn't know the creator doesn't even know who the fuck my little nephew is. So they probably don't know some fucking 5-6-year-old kid out there was just fucking watching their fucking videos. And so I brought that up to that person. I brought that up to that TX2 fan in the comment. Well, in my DMs. And they were saying, no, it's the YouTube creator's fault. How? How is it the YouTube creator's fault? The YouTube fucking creator doesn't know that my fucking nephew's watching their shit. Exactly. Tell him, Clownsy Shipper. Tell him, Clownsy Shipper. And yeah, and we see a lot of kids on, TikTok and shit like that. Because let's be honest, we've all lied about our age on these websites and shit, right? And then I told them another example, right? Back in 2019, I don't know if you guys remember Ninja from Fortnite, right? Well, back in 2019, Ninja was the, #1 Twitch streamer in the world at that point. And he was, known for being the #1 Fortnite streamer. Now, back in 2019, a lot of parents banded together and tried to get Ninja canceled, claiming that Ninja was responsible for their children having video game addictions. Is it Ninja's fault or is it the parents' fault? Because Ninja's not forcing these kids to pick up a fucking controller and play some fucking video games, right? It's the fucking parents' fault. Even when I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, it was my mom's responsibility to limit, what games I play, to limit the hours that I could spend on my fucking PlayStation 2 or Nintendo 64. It was literally, that's her fucking responsibility. It wasn't when I was over here as a kid playing I was literally 10 years old playing GTA Vice City. No 10-year-old should be playing GTA Vice City. It wasn't fucking Rockstar's fault that a 10-year-old kid was playing their game. It's my mom's fault. I don't think my mom understood that GTA was a fucking bad game at the time. Yeah, exactly, Clownsy, exactly. Yeah, video games can be addictive too. Well, I'll just throw it out there. So, it just boggles my mind. There was these TX2 fans just in my fucking DMs just saying, 10, little kids, you're exposing little kids to this shit. And so, this is no offense to Evan from TX2. I love him. I love him very much. And so I brought this point up into DMs. Everyone who's a TX2 fan knows that the most iconic line, what's the most iconic line? The most iconic line is, if I hear TX2 one more time, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. And then TX2 goes, do it! Fuck you! Everyone knows that shit. So I began questioning this person. I was like, okay, let me ask you this shit. TX2, Evan from TX2 is over here telling, now we all know the context, behind this, but I'm just using this as an example in the DMs, right? We all know the context, everybody knows the story. I'll defend Evan on this any day. I told the person, I was like, okay, when Evan told that person to kill themselves, right? Well, what is that? I told him, I was like, okay, by your logic, I'm responsible for what these kids are learning online. So when Evan is over here in that song telling that girl to kill herself, is he essentially teaching kids that it's okay to tell people to off themselves? And when I brought that up to them, they didn't like hearing that. They got freaking pissed off. They said that I'm a hater, blah, 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 blah. But no. It was to prove a point. It was to prove a point that, hey, man, the stuff you're trying to get onto me for, TX2's doing it. Someone was in my DM saying that I'm ruining TX2's reputation by exposing, well, by me making a video that mentions TX2 and mentions an actual bar that's fetishizing goth people, because fucking TX2 ain't doing it. And so someone fucking DM'd me saying I'm ruining his reputation. How am I ruining his reputation? Anyone that's followed TX2 in the last 2 years knows everything Evan's been doing, right? That could ruin his reputation, right? I told this person, I was like, look, man, TX2 is over here, literally toward the Bible Belt of the South. And I live over here in the South. And what I'm about to say is true. And if you live in the South, you know this is fucking true as well. Over here in the South, they don't support transgender rights. They see a girl go into the guy's restroom, it's going to be a bad time over here in the South. They see someone claiming to be a man or a woman over here in the South, and they don't think that's a man or a woman. Man, the transphobia is going to be fucking crazy. Ask me how I know. I live in Tennessee, right? And so when Evan and TX2, they've been touring over here in the South in fucking super conservative, super Republican areas, talking about pro-trans rights, fuck the Republicans. That right there could ruin his reputation, right? But Evan's still doing it, right? And so this person saying, oh, you're ruining his reputation, Tin. Everybody knows Evan does controversial stuff that could potentially ruin his reputation. We've literally seen celebrities get canceled and celebrities lose their following for talking about trans rights. And here Evan's doing it knowing he could lose his following. Evan probably lost a few followers already for that shit, right? I'll continue reading chat. Oh yeah, what's up, Ace? What's up, Ace? I was telling this other person in the DMs too, that was saying that I'm ruining Evan's reputation. You know, Evan being pro-LGBT rights, that's a very controversial topic these days. That, you know, a good chunk of Americans still don't vibe with, you know, LGBT rights. And a lot of celebrities, if they come out as, you know, pro-LGBT, they lose a big chunk of following, because a lot of people think if you're lesbian, gay, or bi, it's a political thing. So there's a lot of people that will say that, oh, you're getting woke. It's told that if you support gay people, you support people being lesbian. Tin, I'm unfollowing you, Tin. I can't believe Tintel Death is getting political. Unfollowed, woke. Cancel Tintel Death for being woke. Whoa. And so this whole thing that, oh, Tin, you're ruining Evan's reputation. No, this motherfucker Evan has been doing controversial fucking shit the last 2 years that could have ruined his reputation. You guys have literally seen them try to cancel this man for the last 2 years. I've even talked about it in a YouTube video. They spent the last 2 years trying to cancel TX2. 2 damn years, they've come up with all sorts of allegations. They've come up with sexual assault allegations, that's a real one. They've come up with abuse allegations, that's a real one. I've heard people come up with abuse allegations against him. All sorts of fucking crazy allegations. And, you know, here we are 2 years later, and clearly TX2 isn't stopping, right? So this whole thing that, oh, Tin, you're ruining his fucking reputation. Like, I'm telling y'all, I had some fucking angry TX2 fans in my DMs, and I'm just like, y'all, this shit gotta stop. This shit really gotta fucking stop. Because why is it okay that Evan can talk about this stuff, right? But if I start talking about this stuff, whoa, Tin, think about the kids. But Evan's doing it too. Evan's literally talking about this shit, and Evan has you know, teenagers that are fucking watching his shit. But no, it's okay because Evan's a celebrity, Tin. Evan's famous, Tin. That's why it's okay. And it's like I said, no disrespect to Evan. I love him. But we got to quit being hypocritical as TX2 fans. We got to quit saying, hey, Tin, you can't talk about these serious topics because you're not famous. You can't talk about this stuff, Tin, because, you know, blah, 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 blah. But look, man, I think we should talk about these serious topics, whether you're fucking famous or not, because it opens up discussions. Like that fucking bar on that fucking video I posted, the ones that you guys know about, the one on TikTok, one on Instagram, about how, you know, TX2 isn't fetishizing goth women. Now, here's a bar that's actually fetishizing goth women that we need to call out, right? Look, by me posting that, it can make people aware. It can make a lot of goth women that might want to go to that bar. It can make them aware that, hey, man, I should not go to this bar because I don't want to, you know, get pilled and raped, right? And I think me making that's a fucking good thing because it spreads awareness that, hey, man, there's this fucking bar out here that's literally fucking pilling up and raping fucking goth women. Congrats, 10. Congrats, 10. But no. Apparently that's too far. Apparently talking about actual fucking issues, that's too far. That's too far. I just don't fucking get it. I don't get it with some of the fans anymore. Good example, Tatiana. Hold on. I got you, Clownsy. Yeah, I'll be fucking with some TX2. Hold on, we'll read some comments. Damn, you guys posted a lot in the comments. Okay. Ace says, I hate people who don't support trans rights. My whole family loves Trump's, hates furry/theory, and hates trans. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, we've talked about Trump. I have a whole video on my YouTube channel. Well, first I'll say this. I've been live for 26 minutes. I have a whole video here on my YouTube channel where I pretty much, and I had to tell people this is not a pro-Trump video. It's just a video about me explaining why he won the election, because I think enough time has passed now where people are, you know, they still wonder why he won the election. And I went into details. I went into a lot of details. And at the end of the day, it mostly came down to Gen Z men. Yeah, it came down to Gen Z men and minorities deciding to switch political sides at the end of the day. So, yeah, I feel you, Ace. I don't fucking understand all this hate towards trans people. Clown Z Shipper says, I don't understand people who you know, hate on people who like a different gender. Yeah, I mean, only reason why I could even think about why people would hate on them, because you guys got to remember, I'm old enough now, right? Where when I was in school, back when I was in high school, they legalized gay marriage. And even then, when I was a kid, being gay would have got you fucking bullied. Right now, everyone's cool with people being gay now, right? But just remember, when I was a kid, Americans were against fucking people being gay. People were against gay marriage. 2015, when I was in high school, they passed gay marriage. They were like, okay, you know, pro gay marriage. So even in the 90s, a lot of people were anti-gay, anti-LGBT, whatever. From my understanding, I can basically give you this understanding about why a lot of people are like that. Why a lot of people are anti-LGBT, homophobic, whatever. A lot of people forget it. It's only been in recent times, like very recent times, where people have started to become accepting of, you know, people being gay and stuff like that. It's only been a recent thing. Like, you know, people have been gay for a long time, right? But it's only started to become normal, at least society acceptance normal, for people to accept it. So, you know, people only recently are starting to come around to it. It's like how it took, like, what, 20, 30, 40 years to end segregation or something like that. You know, that was a long one. No, normally it takes at least like a generation or two before you see any crazy societal change. Clownsy Shipper says it's not liking someone because they don't like pizza and you can... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see what you mean, Ace. Yeah, everybody here in the area that I live in, they like him. Well, like is an understatement. Love is more like it. What's up, Clownsy? I know... Yeah, while you were going, Clownsy, we were talking about some of the stuff, some of the comments you were saying here in the chat, so I answered some of it. So if you want to go back on stream and listen to what I was saying, you can, because I keep most of my streams up. I think there's only a few streams that I've removed. But I don't know, y'all. It's just getting fucking wild, man, with the TX2 fans recently. And this is nothing against all TX2 fans. We have some really good supportive people. But, like, we're becoming fucking hypocritical as a community, man. Like, good example. I have a very good friend who's a TX2 fan. Her name is Tatiana. Now, most of you guys don't know about this. What if I told you there was a whole part? Well, what if I told you there was a small part of the TX2 fandom that was doing child grooming on Discord? Yeah. But some of y'all wouldn't know about that. Some of y'all don't even know about that. That most people don't even know about that in the TX2 fandom. But not too long ago, not too many months ago. Yeah, not too many months ago. Basically, there was some TX2 fans that discovered a group of TX2 fans participating in grooming other TX2 fans, underage TX2 fans. And well, let's just say the news wasn't big enough to, you know, get out to the majority of TX2 fans, but it was a really big thing. And Tatiana, right, one of the TX2 fans, Tatiana, she was exposing that shit. She was exposing the child grooming TX2 fans, because like I said, there was a whole Discord out there of TX2 fans that were like adult TX2 fans that were fucking child grooming underage TX2 fans and getting them to send nudes and shit like that, right? And Tatiana, my friend Tatiana, she was exposing the shit out of that shit, right? She was exposing the shit out of that shit, trying to, you know, warn other TX2 fans, like, hey man, there's a group of TX2 fans out here that are grooming other TX2 fans. I'm gonna warn you guys. But no, y'all, they literally bullied the shit out of Tatiana for exposing that shit, which just boggles my mind. You have Tatiana over here. Tatiana was trying to prevent other TX2 fans from getting groomed by pedophiles, and Tatiana ends up getting bullied by her own TX2 fans. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, Tatiana's trying to help y'all, you know, become aware that there's these fucking people that are trying to fucking infiltrate the TX2 fandom and trying to groom motherfuckers, and y'all bullied her. Like, what the fuck? I don't fucking understand this shit. Yeah, it was a thing on Discord. Basically, in a nutshell, here's what happened, Ace. Here's what happened, Clownsy. So, while I get ready to drive home because I got to go to work. So, TX2, they have a Discord, right? I don't know if you guys know that TX2 has a Discord. Well, you know, Evan, Corky, Cam, you know, they have their own lives too. They're touring, they're spending time with their family. They got their own lives. So, you know, you have to ask yourself, okay, since Evan, Cam, and Corky, they have their own lives, they're clearly touring, they're making content, they're responding to people, they're clearly busy. Who the fuck is moderating this Discord server, right? Who's moderating TX2's Discord server? Now, from my understanding, from what I know, is there was a few mods in there, but some of those mods took advantage of their position and allowed a lot of the child grooming to go on in that Discord server. And think about this, that makes Evan look bad. That makes TX2 look bad. Because imagine if the wrong big name influencer found out about that child grooming shit that was going on in the TX2 Discord. That could have got fucking Evan canceled for real. And why it could have got Evan canceled for real is because that big name influencer could have been like, well, there's some child grooming going on in your Discord, and you're not talking about it. You're not doing something about it. And that probably could have got him canceled for real if the news became more widespread, right? Yeah, exactly, Clownsy. And it just boggles my fucking mind. It just boggles my mind. From what I've heard is a lot of the people cracked down on the fucking child grooming that was going on in that Discord server. But, you know, who would have known, right? I don't think Evan would have known. Evan probably didn't know. Cam probably didn't know. Corky probably didn't know because, you know, they're busy touring and shit. And they probably don't got time to moderate their own server. But I'm just like, damn, man. Someone out there tries to expose some of the grooming that's going on in the fandom, and then they get bullied by other TX2 fans for trying to protect other TX2 fans. I'm just like, man, We as a fandom, we are getting wild. I still love TX2. I will still love Evan, Cam, Corky. But damn, man, like we need to normalize. We need to normalize talking about issues because, you know, everyone here in the TX2 fandom talks about trans rights, right? Everybody does. That's a very big thing here. But we need to normalize talking about child grooming and stuff that goes on, because that's a big thing. There are a lot of alternative and emo girls and goth girls that get child groomed and all that fucking shit on the internet, as clearly demonstrated with, you know, the Discord server incident. But like I said, Evan and them probably didn't even know, so I mean, you know, they can't really fucking moderate that shit since they're busy. But it shouldn't have to be a controversial thing to talk about, you know, actual tragedies that are going on within the community. It shouldn't be such a controversial thing for me to talk about people that are actually fetishizing goth girls. I don't fucking understand why people were over here fucking upset at me in my DM saying, Tin, I can't believe you would post this. Like, bro, I'm literally making you guys aware that there's a fucking bar out there that is taking these golf girls and that is doing unholy things to them. I am trying to let you guys know not to go to this damn bar. But no, apparently, okay, go. Okay, I guess, you know, we shouldn't warn people about that shit. We should just let people find out the hard way. Man, I fucking hate the internet sometimes. Any final questions, any final things you want to talk about before I make it back home? Exactly, that, like, I get it. I get why some people are upset, but man, dude, man, someone has to do it, and this is the thing that I've kind of understood. Man, back when my channel was small, back when my channel was a lot more small, we're still a small channel, but back when I only had a few hundred subs, man, I was already getting a ton of fucking death threats and hate comments from people. And it just feels like as time goes on, there's more people that they're just coming after me like even more hard. And if you guys were on the live stream yesterday, we did a live stream yesterday, and I talked about that we probably got 2 years left here on this channel before the internet decides to get us for good. Like, all jokes aside, it's like what I was saying in the live stream yesterday. Eventually people are gonna cancel us for good, and I think that's okay. Because when it happens, it'll be like a fucking blessing to me. Because I swear, there's times where just doing this social media shit, I'm just like, man, you guys know the I'm tired boss meme? That's how I feel. There's days where I'm just like, man, I don't want to do this shit anymore. I don't want to have to wake up, respond to fucking comments, respond to hate, respond to all types of shit. It gets tiring. I know Evan probably gets tired too. Cam probably gets tired too. I mean, they get excited as well, because don't get me wrong, you know, getting some good comments, some positive comments, that shit can get you hyped up. But damn, man, damn, I'm just gonna give you guys a warning. If you guys ever want to be fucking rock stars, ever want to be fucking YouTubers, ever want to be big like TX2, be prepared for that negativity, y'all. I'm just 5,000 fucking subs on YouTube, and I get a fucking ton of fucking death threats and hate mail, all types of shit. And this is coming from me, Mr. 5,000 subs. Yeah, I thought about that. A second channel just in case. I do have a second channel, but it's for a different type of content. But yeah, I thought about that shit. Because, like, I've seen people literally tell Evan that he should just off himself, which is fucking crazy. I'm like, damn. Like, we've made it normal to tell people to off themselves on the internet. I don't fucking understand. When did it become normal to tell people to kill themselves? Like, when I was a fucking teenager, if you told someone to kill themselves, dude, nobody wanted to be associated with you. Nobody wanted to, you know, be around you if they heard that you told someone to kill themselves. People would legitimately, when I was a teenager, people would find out who the fuck told someone to kill themselves and would beat the shit out of them. Now it's fucking normal as hell to tell people to fucking kill themselves on the internet these days. For real, like, I've seen a lot of the fucking hate comments Evan gets, and I'm just like, God, man, this guy is fucking huge. Exactly, that's what I don't fucking understand. Evan has been fucking open about what he's gone through, and they still fucking come after this guy. Even the fucking eating disorder shit, right? We've literally talked about eating disorders here on my YouTube channel and shit, right? And so when I saw Evan was talking about it, and then I saw people saying that he was faking it for clout, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, we literally made a fucking YouTube video about this shit last year, and people are over here saying he's faking this shit for fucking clout. Like, what the fuck, man? People were saying guys can't have eating disorders. I don't fucking understand this shit. People, motherfuckers, be, man, we gotta change some shit. We gotta change some shit. We gotta change some shit. Exactly, Clownsy. I'm about to head off, y'all, so take care, everybody. Exactly. Take care, y'all. I'm about to go to sleep and gotta go to work soon, so peace.